the number one recommendation I got was to visit Palawan. This is that string of islands in the east. Now, ideally, I would want to fly into Puerto Princesa and travel through Port Barton, El Nido, and finally up to Coron, but because I only had 4 days left in the Philippines, I chose just to go to El Nido. After landing in the afternoon, I spent the evening settling into Outpost Beach Hostel. Outpost was located at the southern end of the stunning Korong Korong Beach, about a 5-minute and $5 tuk-tuk ride from the main town of El Nido. The view was unlike anything I had seen, with towering cliffs overlooking traditional fishing boats floating in the bay. Along with the free sunset shot from the hostel, of course. On my first full day, I wandered up Korong Korong Beach to the town itself. I didn't want to have any plans for the day besides wandering around and exploring this beautiful little town. For example, I got my nails done at this beautiful beachfront bar. The town was delightful despite being a bit muddy. The main beach, too, was beautiful, but I found myself glad that Outpost was a little bit more secluded. Isn't it crazy that this was casually my walk home? The night before, I had heard some hostel staff talk about hiring out a kayak, and so I asked if I could rent one for the day. That's how I found myself paddling around some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen. I was really enjoying my little solo adventure and also missing Emma, as you can hear. It's also so weird, like, I don't know, solo traveling versus traveling with Emma. Oh my god, I don't know if you can see that. Look at everything pouring over there. Oh shit. My plan was to aim for Paradise Beach or for Sandigan Cove, but I made such slow progress, I decided to pull up on Ipil Beach 2 for a rest. With the rain and the sea being rougher than expected, I decided to take my time exploring the coast but not go across the way like I had planned to. This was such a fun day, being completely alone in the rain and around all these crazy cliffs and caves. I had had a little moment of loneliness the night before, as you often do when you're solo traveling, trying to make friends but everyone was already in their own groups. But this little adventure was the perfect reminder of why I love to travel solo and explore different parts of the world just like this. After the rain softened a bit, I could enjoy myself a lot more. I was having a little moment here actually, as the rain became really light and was making little stars in the calmer water. I'm just trying to set the scene for you so you can imagine the vibes right now. It was so lovely. If you've looked into or know anything about El Nido, you'll have heard of the island hopping tours A, B, C or D. The main competition is between tours A and C, which were the only two that Outpost offers. I'm sure that they all would be absolutely spectacular, as they each show different combinations of untouched beaches, secret lagoons and crystal clear waters. As it happens, I had booked myself onto tour C because they were running that trip on my birthday. So first we landed on a beach that I can't actually figure out where we were, but we wandered around and we climbed on top of some big rocks. It was really fun.
You act like it's like a half present and full person, you'll hear it.
It says let me do it again. Now I know how to do it, okay. Okay, ready? Can you get it? There we go.
Here we went snorkeling a bit as well, and the guides knew where the clownfish were hiding. I think I got too curious because one of the clownfish actually charged at me and I got really scared, as you might be able to see here. Next we stopped at the secret lagoon, where we had to swim from the boat and walk along the rocks through this narrow cave before coming out into this beautiful space.
That's crazy! Wow!
For lunch, we stayed on the water around Shimuzu Island, where there was beautiful snorkeling to do all around the boat. This is one of our guides diving down very impressively below the boat to look at some fish. Our next stop was the big lagoon where we could rent kayaks and wander around. I was so glad that I had followed through and went on this trip even though I was by myself, as everyone on the tour was also staying at Outpost, and I later arranged to go for dinner with a bunch of the girls for my birthday. Outpost did the tour A in reverse order to all the other tour providers so that there would be less crowds. One of the best things about Outpost, apart from the views, the tours and the lovely people, is the social atmosphere in the evenings. It was a Saturday night, so as well as the free sunset shot, we had Hostel Olympics where we played games like musical chairs, and we got to see why they call Outpost a party hostel. Later on, me and my new friend Nastya went into town and stopped at a bunch of different clubs along the way. For my last day in El Nido, I went south to Marimegmeg Beach, or Vanilla Beach. This was such a good and relaxing way to end my trip, as I ate at the Miro Beach Club and enjoyed my view of the beach. That's pretty much all I got up to in El Nido, but I'm really glad that I had 4 days there, as I could really take my time and relax and do everything that I wanted to do. Now I don't actually know what video I'll make next, unfortunately. But anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.